Meet the AT-2, British Tier 5 tank destroyer, and it might very well become one of my most favorite vehicles. Now it has a few faults. It is very slow, 20 km per hour, and it has two giant weak spots in its armor. First one, the upper copula, quite big, easy to pan. Second one is around here, the lid, easy to pan. So you might want to try to hide that, go hold down. If you can't, angle the tank a little bit, and it should be fine. 450 hit points for Tier 5 tank destroyer is quite nice. Really nice, actually, to be said. It's only 10 hit points less than the M4 in front of me. And the gun. Now, let's speak about the gun first. It is subpar at best. It has really low penetration valor and low damage too. 110 pen average on AP and I think 75 damage. Now 110 is alright for a medium tank, for example. I think the Panzer IV with the 75 has 110. The problem is this is a slow tank destroyer. You're supposed to fight up front and mostly either on range or up close, front to front with enemy tanks. That translates into one thing. You'll have to fight and shoot by aiming at weak spots. Now that works fine for most games. I had no problems in Tier 5 games. You can easily penetrate a KV-1 at the usual weak spots up front, like the MG pod. So far I can't remember of any Tier 5s I could not penetrate up front. So that's something. Tier 6s, that is where it gets harder. VK36, I don't think you can pen it aside from the copula. And, well, that's not the only one. T150, you will want to use APCR on these. Unless you can get on their side armor, then of course feel free to use AP. However, that's rather hard to achieve with 20 kmh, so I'm using 63 AP, 33 APCR. As you can see, I'm already loading APCR, and not as usually, I'm loading one APCR, then change to AP. Because it's a Tier 7 match, it's the worst possible outcome. You can see my mate Highfish over there on the bridge, doing early sport. He's gonna get quite a surprise in a few minutes, well, seconds. And this game actually shows what a Tier 5 can do against Tier 7 tanks. Well, let's just see what happens for a while. There's the T-29, fully equipped, Tiger tank, fully equipped. I'll try to take a ambush position. And then I realized that he's going on behind there. Ambush position received. Didn't hit him, 0%. Hit, there's a KV-1 too. Another miss. And there we go, hit. Trying to track him here, didn't work. APCR will just slug itself through its side armor. I'm not even thinking about using AP here. There we go. Did you see that? That was a bounce from a Tiger. Bounce from a Tiger up front. A bounce from a T-29 shooting from the upper part. And even the KV-1 shot me and bounced. That's the 88 of a Tiger. He's fully equipped. That's 105mm of a T-29 and a KV-1, most likely using the 85mm. Now, as you can see on the minimap, there's someone else curious about me. Let's see how this phone unfolds. He's trying to shoot through the rails. Hits me, but he can't pen me from that angle. Now, if you look at me from his angle, it's like this. Actually, yeah, it's like this. So his shots come in, slightly angled, and he can't pan that. It's not possible for him. The KV-13 has quite a lot of problems. Its gun is subpar. It's good. It does damage. But KV-13 is a medium that's all about his angled armor. So the gun is not really that great compared to, well, these two heavies, for example, or compared to the 88 on the Panther, or even the 90mm on the T20. Now let's see how this goes. Tiger comes forward again, eats a few shots. KV-1 takes a few shots. Another bounce from the KV-13. T-29 tries to take a shot. I recognize that. Try to avoid it, which actually works because he was hit. Now KV-13 is trying to get me, so I'm focusing on him, trying to get some cover out. Doesn't work though. He can track me and bounce every single shot. Again, shooting the walls. Trying to use the walls as cover. Tracked again though. Just sweating. I'm using a toolbox on this tank. Again, a bounce on my back armor. Really bad for him. I'm not even sure. Right now, well, now the Tiger P comes in to save me, I guess. It's a pretty nice thing. Having your teammates help you is something I really like about this game. Now, I can't see where he bounced me, but it must have been, yeah, from that angle, I guess. And he should be able to pan my rear armor like that. Even without the biggest gun on the KV-13, and I think he's fully equipped though. Yeah, he should be. He should be able to. It's only a tier 5 tank after all. So still harassing the Tiger. I already did 800 damage to the Tiger as a tier 5 tank. Now see that the KV-1 goes over there, can't do anything. Tiger stays behind. Looks like he's going to try and angle his armor, but he's not. So I'm just going forward, trying to get a look on him, trying to see what he does. I realize the KV-13 is about to die, so I'm going to take a few shots on him, expose my rear armor. Yeah, nice. Take a few shots on him. There he goes, burned down. Turn around again, see the KV-1 coming through. Aiming at the weak spots. And killing him. Well, I'm still using APCR here, but still, use the weak spots. Shoot the Tiger once more, dealing about 907 damage to a Tiger in a tier 5. Mind you, the APCR rounds have average 180 pen, so that's a thing. Now, you might want to say, why didn't you reload AP for side armor? Simple. I actually thought they would rush me or kill me, or at least not show me their front armor, the side armor every time. And I also didn't want RNG to kill me for this time, so I was using it like this. APCR only, man. Change to AP now. Now, I bounced 9 shots overall in this game. 1 from the T-29, several from the KV-13 that should be able to pan me from the rear. And even, I think, 2 or 3 shots from the Tiger in a tier 5 tank destroyer. This tank is great, unless you have people who know your weak spots, like I said, Copular, the lid, and they try to shoot your lower front plate. They will hardly ever pan you. The only real way to pan this tank with a high chance of panning it and not RNG to screw you over is the Copular and its lid, especially the lid though. So if you ever encounter an 82, shoot a Copular or this lid, or flank him. Don't ever try anything else, it won't work. Now here I'm trying to take a few shots, shoot the wall, see if I can take a shot on the artillery. However, he's too fast, couldn't get him. Miserable shot here, trying to shoot the boxes, going in on him. He's hitting the Tiger P, I hit him. And here we go with another thing. Look at that, oh yeah. The traverse speed on this tank is quite nice. Mind you, I have clutch braking on 40%, so it's a little bit faster than usual. I highly recommend using that skill. And talking about skills, for this tank, I'd say go with full repair as the first skill and clutch braking as the driver skill. You will need it. I'm also using a toolbox. I'm using for equipment toolbox, binocs, and of course rammer to make the gunfire even faster. You saw that it still works without a GLD, without a gun loading drive. So yeah, 82. Whoever says this is a bad tank, it is surely not. You can do a lot with your armor. You might have to use APCR a lot. I think out of 14 games, 15 games, I had to use APCR in every game for the stronger tanks, like even a KV-1 front. You can pan, but to pan it reliably in emergency situations, you will have to use APCR. So yeah, if you think about going for the British tank destroyer line and think about, well, do I want to go through the Churchill gun carrier or the full line? I'd say if you have lacked the experience of slow tanks, go through the normal line. If you already have a slow tank like the T-95, T-28 tank destroyers, the American line, VK-45 O2P in the German line or the Maus, you might skip that and just go for the Churchill gun carrier. But even then, the Churchills are a rather slow either, so you have to go through them. So I'd say just go with this. The prior tanks, the Electra and the Valentine AT are good tanks too. And this one is another one. Just remember, if you choose to transfer your crews from the prior tanks, switch the skills out. The prior tanks move better with camo nets, camo skill, and camo nets and all sorts of nonsense like that, like real normal tank destroyers, like we know them, hidden in the bush. This one is a full assault tank. It's best up close and personal. That's how you're gonna use it if you want to put it up on full efficiency. Well, that's it.